Hello and welcome to the All Rookie Podcast. Today is May 16th, 2025, and I'm your host, William Harris, aka William is Bill. Follow me, please. What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about the number three and number four prospects in the NBA draft. A few days ago, I did the number one and number two guys, Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper. Today, I want to talk to you about number three and number four. I think these guys are in tiers. Tier one is Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper. This is tier two, Ace Bailey and Jeremiah Fears. And in my opinion, it drops off to another tier after this, which would be a much larger tier of tier three. So I wanted to make sure these two guys got the spotlight just as much as Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper because they are super talented as well. They are just not as sure of a thing as the first two guys, but I still think they have enough talent, skill, and potential to be stars, just like the number two, one and two guys. All right, so let's start with, should we go number three or number four first? Let's start with number three. We're going to talk about Ace Bailey, the forward from Rutgers. He was listed at 6'10" and 200 pounds, but they just had the combine recently with the measurements. They all the prospects at the combine right now, and he measured in at around 6'8", 6'8" and a half. So with shoes, he's gonna be 6'9", 6'9" and a half. So people were like, because I think what they measure you bare feet, so he was like 6'7" and a half bare feet. So that's gonna be 6'8" and a half, 6'9" with shoes on. So people try to say, oh, he's not this, he's not this. He's 6'7" now. He's still close to 6'9". The talent, the skill is ridiculous. 18 years old, average 18 points, 7 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block per game, 46% from the field, and 35% from three. 35% is really good, especially for taller guys. And they only have room to improve. So he has great leaping ability. This is Ace Bailey we're talking about from Rutgers. And ironically, his teammate, Dylan Harper, is from Rutgers as well. And Rutgers has the number two and three guy and didn't make the NCAA tournament. Just want to throw that out there. But he has great leaping ability on offense and defense. I mean, he can dunk on you, he can throw your shot to the third row. But Ace Bailey can get to the rack, hit the floater, and being a good three-point shooter will really help him in the NBA. But not only that, he can post up, he can back his man down to score. He can do it all in multiple ways. He runs the floor like a gazelle. He can cross you up, has a nice soft touch, can finish with the floater, or just juking by you and dunking on you. Has a very quick first step, very athletic. He'll hit the spot up three, can play in the mid range, the post, or the perimeter. And that's what you're looking for. I mean, he can do it all. He may not be able to get to the rack as easily in the NBA, at least at first, because of his frame, being that tall and barely 200 pounds. You want to get a little bit of weight on you. But today, in today's NBA, there are a lot of tall, skinny guys, so it should not be too much of a problem. And with time and age, you will fill out more anyway. Like I said, he's 18. Someone's going to be getting a prospect with so much potential. It's just ridiculous. You can't even, don't expect to have Giannis type of frame at 18. Giannis was a skinny pup at 18 as well. And look at him now. But he can play the two, the three, or the four offensively. It's scary that he can be 6'9", 6'10", and a shooting guard. He can face up, jab step you, and score. He's a good help defender. Not only can he finish with either hand, he also has a little left hand hook shot floater. He has a quick release, great mid range game, if I didn't say that already. Great fadeaway jumper. And I said this before the combine results, but when I was watching this tape, I didn't see his height. And I said he runs and moves like he's 6'7". And being 6'10", that makes him super intriguing. Ironically, I was close to, my eyes were not deceiving me. He's not exactly 6'10", but he's still taller than the average forward. But so with him being that tall, I was like, he's kind of like Jabari Smith. They both have great size and movement and great shooting ability, but Ace is much faster and more aggressive and a better ball handler. And Jabari went third. So this is telling you if you take Ace Bailey at this third pick, you're probably getting a much better prospect that can do a lot better than Jabari's doing right now. And I still have a lot of high hopes for Jabari Smith because I'm telling you, he's one of the most talented players I've scouted. He just needs to go to another team. and you're going to see the true Jabari Smith. He's not playing like he was in college because he's not being given the opportunities. They have him more like in a role in Houston. But anyway, Ace Bailey. So I just want to say that because if I say Ace Bailey and Jabari Smith, you're like, oh, that's not that good. No, Jabari Smith is going to be good in a different scenery. But Ace Bailey should be great as well. Now you can watch his tape two different ways because he's close to 6'10". You can say, I don't know if a power forward playing like this will work in the NBA. But then again, you could look at his tape and say he's close to 6'10", and being a shooting guard, that can be incredible in the NBA. That range and multiple position ability is too good to pass up on. If I had the third pick, it would be tough for me to pick someone else. I mean, I wouldn't pick anyone else. But the draft is unpredictable. We never know how it's going to go. I can't even remember who has the third pick right now. Dang, I can't think. But I'll get back to that. I'm gonna look that up. We just had the results recently. I have to find this real quick. Third pick in the draft is the it's right here. Sixers. Okay, that would be a great fit for him with the Sixers. They lost Paul George, and ironically, some people are comparing him to like a Paul George, Brandon Miller type. And Paul George, speaking of the Hobbit, as Jalen Rose would say, Paul George has said on his podcast that he would take Ace Bailey over Cooper Flagg in the draft. He feels Cooper Flagg is what he's going to be, and Ace Bailey is still going to climb and rise and hasn't hit his potential yet. So, I mean, you never know. I could not do that. And normally I'm the wild guy that's like, everyone's number one guy is not my number one guy, but I cannot pass up on Cooper Flagg in this draft. So that lets you know I don't just call my shots for no reason or to be clickbait or whatever. I'm judging players by what I see. Cooper Flagg is amazing, but so is Ace Bailey. Just I don't know if he's as a sure thing as Cooper Flagg. So I get it in that way that Paul George is saying we don't know what Ace Bailey could be. He could be Kevin Durant or something out there. And I get it. But Cooper Flagg's gonna be great. Ace Bailey, we hope he will be great. I mean it's more than likely he will. He has all the intangibles. There's nothing wrong with his game. He just got to put it all together and put it on the floor. So with that being said, he has to be the number 3 selection in my opinion. Ace Bailey from Rutgers. Number 4, we have Jeremiah Fears, the 6'4" point guard from Oklahoma. He's 18 years old, 182 pounds. He averaged 17 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, 1.5 steals, shot 43% from the field, 28% from three on 3 turnovers per game. Now, he's 18 years old as well, and I think he's not even supposed to be in college this year, just one of the younger players. And going into the NBA, so someone's going to get a super young talent that I think he's ready to play right now. Some people may say he needs to develop a little bit longer. But I mean, when you watch his tape, get him on the right team. Like, yeah, if he goes to a team with an established point guard, he may not start. But I think he can start on a lot of teams in the NBA. But Jeremiah Fears has great handles and crossover. He's very fast and athletic. And if I didn't say he's a point guard, he measured in at the combine around 6'3". So he's listed at 6'4". He'll be 6'4". But he blows by his man with ease. Matter of fact, he'll blow by your whole team. He's done it multiple times. And when he's driving to the rack, he has a Kyrie Irving type of finger roll package at times. He can finish with either hand. He's a very clutch player. He wants the ball in crunch time. And he runs the offense and controls the flow of the game with ease. That's what you want. He needs to get more assists, I would like to see. But, when you're in college and you're not on a top 10 team, you don't know who you're playing with, really. Most of those guys are not going to continue on playing professional basketball. So it's possible that it's not necessarily his game that needs to change to where he gets more assists. But, if you're going to be a point guard in the NBA, it can't all be about scoring for the most part. Not many point guards get that green light to be a scorer and are not dynamic scorers. So you're going to need to be a great passer in the NBA. I think he can do that. I just want to see him improve at it because 4 assists per game is solid, but get those numbers up, he'll be even more polished. And like I said, he's 18, so that will come. Um, he can do anything he wants on the court. He only needs to work on his, like I said, assist and 3-point shooting. The 3-point shooting at 28%, that's scary for teams. A lot of times guys get stuck in at 28% and they don't really make that huge leap to 33, 34, 35%. And, like Scoot Henderson was around 28%. I said, I'm sure he'll pick that up, NBA coaching. And, Scoot's kind of been struggling a little bit, but he's coming along. So we'll see what happens with Jeremiah Fears. You want that 3-point shooting up for sure because in today's game, it's vital. It's vital. But Jeremiah Fears has a deadly crossover, can hit the fadeaway. He has that great size for a point guard, although it's starting to look like the monsters out there with 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" point guards out there. Fears is still big enough where he finishes in traffic well. He will have to get a little bit stronger because 182 pounds is a little light, but that will happen. Strength and training and conditioning and all that is elite in the NBA. It will happen. His speed with and without the ball is what separates him from most other point guards and just players in general. He will, like I said, he will blow by you. His speed is ridiculous. He has great vision. He's just young. And if you want to say something as a knock on him, he over dribbles at times. And a lot of times that happens with guys that are the leaders of the team, offensive talents. You can say James Harden, Kobe Bryant, they over dribbled at times as well, but that didn't take anything away from their greatness. So um, that will be coached up. And like I said, it could be team dependent. He may have needed to do that in Oklahoma, and that might not be something that he has to do. You know what I mean? It's not just programmed into him to over dribble. He may do it by case scenario. We will see. That's not anything that's hard to coach out of you anyway. So it will be fine. And I love when he's going to the rim, Jeremiah Fears. He's never out of control when driving to the lane. You can't really rush him or press him. He's always under control, and that's key. A lot of times when you are out of control, that shows your age, your youth, your inexperience. And Jeremiah Fears is 18 years old playing like someone with a lot of experience. That is a great sign. That's great to see. And, I love how he can change his shifts and his direction at will, stop on a dime. His handles are elite. That's what you need from a point guard. Even though we don't have Patrick Beverly types right now in the NBA pressing like that, those are dying out, it seems, because everyone wants scoring point guards. So the Patrick Beverleys of the world are kind of making their way out. But his handles are elite, probably the best in the class, so it's not even a concern. He's ready to be a starting point guard in the league at 18 years old. That is really crazy to me because when you think of that point guard position, uh, it's stacked. So he just has to find the right team. Right now, the fourth selection goes to the Hornets. They could take him. They could play him with Melo because size-wise, they could be interchangeable. He could be 6'4", and LaMelo 6'7". That's a typical 1 and 2 position. The Hornets just have a tall point guard and LaMelo. But that is up to Charlotte. They could go position-wise and go for a typical shooting guard. But I mean, why not have two ball handlers that can do it all? So, I mean, I would strongly consider Jeremiah Fears. There's no doubt he's my number 4 prospect. That's not going to change. Um, but teams will have a lot to consider. The Jazz have the 5th pick. They have two really good point guards. The Wizards, I think they need a point guard. So I don't see Jeremiah Fears falling further than 6. And I think I'm the highest on Jeremiah Fears. I don't know. I think people like him. I don't know if they have him 4th. Most people have BJ Edgecombe, Trey Johnson, Derek Queen, guys like that ahead of Jeremiah Fears, but not me. I see an elite starting point guard, and NBA teams need to get ready and pay attention. And I saw this before the tournament. I did a podcast with Vonzel Lucky, the Vons, and scouting, I was like right away, as soon as I saw Jeremiah Fears tape, I said, whoa, this guy is good. And I had him in my top 5. So, and that was before everyone else saw it. But I just wanted to do this podcast real quick, let y'all know about the number 3 and number 4 prospects in the NBA draft, according to me at William is Bill from the All Rookie Podcast. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Um, am I way off? Some people are higher on Ace. Some people are lower on Ace. Some people think Jeremiah Fears should be 10th. I don't know. What do you guys think? But I think from my expertise, this is correct order. And like I said, tier 2, Ace Bailey, Jeremiah Fears. Can't wait till we see more from the draft. News reports, everything's going to come out. I'm going to do a 1 through 10 list next. I wanted to get these 2 prospects talked about on their own podcast to give them a little bit of shine, though, because I think they deserve it. And I want y'all to know for sure. I have Fears 4, Bailey 3rd. Remember that. Now, thank y'all so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff to the All Rookie Podcast. Until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.